evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 5, Episode 32, DJI Avata Updates. And there's a lot of Avata updates, so we're gonna get to that here in a minute. I want to go ahead and welcome everybody. Let's see who we have in the house tonight. Mr. Stephen Ewing and Bill Thomas is in the house. Zach Key is here. Trini Weeks. Dr. Ted is in the house. Let's see. Captain Ray is in the house. Akarasho. Who else we got? Flying Flynn Media. Let's see who else. USA Drone Flyer. Leonard Oglesby. Jerry Browser's here. Steve Knowles is here. Drone Views Media is in the house. Gorilla Man, welcome, Gorilla Man. Good to see you. Thanks for being a part of the show tonight, my friend. Good to have you on board. All right. First of all, I want to talk about this. I sent for a proof of concept mug. It didn't cost me much, but I used the longer of my two new logos. I thought it was okay, but I've already got another design picked out. It's a navy blue one with this logo here in a different color, and it looks a lot better. The navy blue wraps completely around the mug. So they're going to be coming out, and I'm going to have them for sale because I know that's seriously, that's one of the most popular things I've ever sold have been the mugs. So stay tuned for that. I'll get you pricing and availability, and there's no going through Teespring or anything. It's going through me. Yes, I'm going to make a little bit of money on it because I do need to help support the channel, but your guys are going to get a great deal. Trust me. I got a great deal through Vistaprint, Promotique. They did me right. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up shortly. Also, this is coming up end of the month. Ham radio basics. Stay tuned. You guys, I know several of you are ham radio guys, so stay tuned. That's coming out. The channel is out there on YouTube, so go ahead and subscribe ahead of time. Okay, I don't have any content out there yet, but that's going to be coming very shortly. Also, another programming note. I am about 30 videos away from 1,000 videos, guys. 1,000 videos. Wow. I thought, subscribers and everything, 10,000, that's a good deal. It's 1,000 videos. That's a special mark. And I've been at it for 5 years. So it's really, I've been doing an average of 200 videos a year. So yeah, that's pretty good. So, okay, we're going to get started with stuff here. Let me get my banners up. All right. Update. Finally got my refund from Amazon. Okay. What a show that was with them. And I had to deal with Amazon customer service a couple of times, and I don't know what else to say. Okay. Yeah, it was a very special type of experience. I won't be repurchasing it until I get paid. It's just the way things are. So I did find out some other news from Femi directly. Okay. You can purchase the Femi X8 SE 2022 V1, the first version of the 22, and it will work with a TX10 smart controller. I did receive an update from Femi on that. So if that's something of interest to you, you definitely want to check that out because I know it does cost less than the V2, but it doesn't have the megaphone module and it doesn't have the hook and release system, which, that hook and release system is something that's really going to interest me as far as ham radio is concerned for dropping antenna leads. So Jerome Robinson, welcome, Jerome. Johnny Drone Flyer, welcome, Johnny. Oh, a programming note while I'm into things here. Okay. I'm going to be busy on Wednesday night. Okay. I'm going to be on Johnny's show. I think it's 7 Eastern. And Bill Thomas, I know you're watching. I will be on your show. I think it's at 8:30 Eastern. So I'm going to be busy on Wednesday, but I'm really looking forward to it. Love Johnny's show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Johnny and Ray. Love Bill's show. Okay. And Bill said he's going to be getting the gang together. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's always good. It's always good to spend some time with Bill and all his good friends. So we'll have a really good time out there. That'll be a lot of fun. And Johnny, welcome back from your vacation. Saw lots of pictures. Looked like you had a great time. So, and we'll find out more about that as things go on here. All right. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about is the Phantom 4 or the Phantom RTK, and then there's an RTK SE are on their way out. And I'm sorry. We found this out from our friend, Mr. Selev. Okay, it's Phantom 4 RTK. So pardon my misquote there. Let's get this up here. All right, Phantom 4 RTK, RTK SE is about to stop selling. Mass production has already ended. It means Mavic 3 Enterprise is near. That's something that was being forerun a long time ago. We knew this was coming. Like I couldn't tell you how much longer ago. I mean, it was. They haven't had Phantom 4 Pro V2.0 in stock, and now this is in stock, and you can see it why. It's still available at some locations and some retailers. It's also out on eBay. There's some new ones out there, but beware, buyer beware as far as the pricing is concerned. So just want to let you know that. One of the other things that I wanted to share from our friend Asila, we're going to get to some of his stuff in a minute here. All right. For the Mini 3 Pro, there's a wide-angle lens that DJI makes. So if this is something that is of interest to you, you probably want to get out on DJI's website and check it out. I have no idea how much this costs since I just saw this a few minutes before we aired tonight. But I wanted to let you guys know about it, make this information available to you so you can take a look at it. And again, if this is something that interests you, definitely this is something that you want to pursue. While we're talking about the Mini 3, okay, I fell in love. Lycus makes cases, okay, and through Amazon. And I got to tell you this. I fell in love with their cases, and I'm going to show you why. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get the Mini 3 case. All right. This is a Lycus case here, all right? A couple of things I really like about this. All right. These release mechanisms for you push in. It's easy up on here. One of the things that I like, and you could probably, it's hard to see. And I'm going to try to see that. You see, you don't see much of the drone sticking up above the foam, which is something I really, really like. You can tell there's enough room for the RC1 in there. I have 2 of the 3 batteries in there. I have the battery compartment. And, okay, I'm going to tell you something else while we're playing show and tell. I got a 65-watt adapter. This is the 65-watt adapter that comes with the Mavic 3. I had some DJI credits. Why not? Went and I got this. This is fantastic. It works great with the hub and charging that up and getting the batteries charged. It also will charge your controller as well, too. You can't beat this. This is a great charger. I ended up paying, like after my credits, it was like maybe $30-40, so it wasn't bad at all. But this is a great deal. It's a great charger. Highly encourage you guys. This charges the batteries in a really decent amount of time versus like the 25 watts. So you may want to look into this for the Mini 3. And again, it's Lycus. You can find them on Amazon, and that's where I ended up. I got the Mavic 3 one there, and there's room in the Mavic 3 one. Believe it or not, I have both the controllers in there. I have the smart controller and the controller that came with the Mavic 3. So now be on the lookout. I have a Mavic 3 video coming up, and I'll also have a Mini 3 video coming up probably sometime in the next few days. So be on the lookout for all that. So wanted to make sure you guys are well. I mean, there's not a lot going on with the Mini 3. Oh, I know what else I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Let's get this on here. Of course, an ad pops up on it as soon as I want it to play. All right. If you don't know, recently did a video on the Mini 3 Pro altitude test. I don't call it high altitude test anymore. I call it altitude test. And it went really well. I was very impressed with it. And you guys have really enjoyed this video. But I wanted to call your attention to it in case you haven't seen it. Get out there and take a look at it. I think it's a really well done video. One of the things and I know both Marcus and I have been kind of close. I know we closed the show last week. A couple of things. It's been hot everywhere, and not just Florida. Marcus said I think he had 110 up near where he lives, up in Idaho. It's just been unbearably hot all over the country. And a couple of things that I do between takes, I go into the car and I cool down. I use the air conditioner in the car. I have some water or something else to drink in there, and also gives a chance for the drone to cool down if I'm using the same drone or if I'm using the other one. And I'm not standing out there in the sun. One of the other things is, especially in Florida, you got to use sunscreen down here. I put it all over my exposed area around my neck, my forehead, my cheeks, ears, and arms for sure. Because by the time you go out, if you get out after 11 o'clock, the UV rays are at their highest down here in Florida, especially. It hits pretty good here. So that's a real strong piece of advice. But I just want to go ahead and share that with you guys. It's a good video. I hope you guys get a chance to take a look at it. I thought it came out pretty well. All right. DJI Air 2S is really high. Yeah, it really is high. It's probably... this was a very interesting article here. And of course, all these articles that I share on Drone DJ, must watch. DJI Air 2S drone captures K2 summit at 8,611 meters. If you know about the mountains, Mount Everest is the tallest at 29,000. K2 is just under that. I think it's like around 27,000, 26,000, something like that. But evidently, from what I understand, more people have lost their life on K2 than on Everest, believe it or not. I'm not a mountain climbing expert. I don't pretend to be. I have no idea. But what it's saying is all these images that you see here were captured by an Air 2S, which is absolutely crazy. And I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get in any copyright issues right here. But imagine that. I mean, 8,000, it's 26,000 feet. I don't know if the ceiling is, let's see here. Has a max service ceiling of 5,000 meters above sea level. It means the drone's performance above 5,000 meters cannot be guaranteed. I first tried to fly a drone above 8,000. But the controller died before I could take off. On Everest, I got close at 7,900, but a windy summit made it dead weight. But on K2, I flew at 7,100. The drone kept falling out of the sky, and NIMS turned me around. This year, the stars aligned and flew from the summit of K2 at 8,611 meters. Okay, that's incredible. And I think part of the thing is with this. And I don't know if you guys know a lot about this or not, but one of the things is you need to understand that that these videos are the reason it's difficult to fly at that altitude. Remember the simple laws of physics, okay? There's not as much air up there, obviously, 27,000 feet. So the drone has to work twice as hard to maintain altitude up there. And that's why they say, DJI puts 5,000 meters is their recommended, because they know that the air gets thinner and thinner as you go up. So that's why they had this kind of problem here. And I thought this was a very interesting article, and I'm glad they shared this because it shows that these drones can do an awful lot, and that is an awful lot that it can do. I'm unbelievably impressed with that. Billy Tompkins, welcome. Brad Elston, welcome. Michael Wright, welcome. Maddie is here, welcome. Let's see who else we got here. Travel Tech 360, 107 Drones. Greg Pittman, welcome, Greg. Let's see who else. Fly Zone Drone, I think, and 107 Drones. Do you think the Fimi TX10 would fit in the case? That's a good question, G-Man. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little bit, it's about roughly about the size of the DJI RC Pro. I'm thinking you're going to have to get some foam. Buy one of those cases like you can get at with the foam where you can pluck the foam out. I think that's what you would have to do in that instance, because I don't think it's going to work in a regular case. I don't see all the Fimi cases. All they have are slots for the batteries, the drone, and the regular controller. They don't have something like that for the new TX10. So I don't think that's going to work. But that's a good question. That really is a good question. All right. This is what the rest of the show's about tonight, guys. It's the Avata. Got a lot of stuff to cover here. So let's get that off there. All right. Now, I'm going to share several articles from Drone DJ. And again, as always, these articles from Drone DJ are these articles from Drone DJ are going to be out on Build a Drone Reviewer Facebook group. There it is. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. I'm 64. I can't help it. I'm sorry. All right. DJI Avata latest leaks, box reveal, new close-up pics, ADS-B tech. Okay. These are some close-up pictures of the Avata. And then OCLEV reports, looks like Avata has somatosensory support, and it was really under KOL's evaluation. Obviously, I'm not going to play that clip right there. Here's some more close-ups of the Avata. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was, the physical size of it. There's a good look at the motor. And here's the box. Now, what's really interesting, it says, the information displayed on this leaked box is correct. FPV fans can expect the Avata to be powered by DJI AirSense. AirSense is an extremely useful alert system that uses ADS-B technology to give drone pilots enhanced situational awareness and help make them responsible decisions while flying. The feature gathers flight data sent automatically from nearby aircraft, ADS-B transmitters, analyzing it to detect potential collision risk, and alert users well in advance through the DJI mobile app. So when is it coming out? The rate of these leaks is anything to go by. We can expect DJI to drop an official launch teaser soon. In any case, the drone has already been submitted to and approved by the FCC, which means the product design, circuitry, and construction are now final. The video leak further indicates Avata has started to reach key opinion leaders or influencers for feedback and suggestions on the refinement of existing capabilities. What I'm hearing, and from what I'm seeing from my sources, I'm hearing a date of August 24th. That's not concrete. That's from what I hear. That's from several sources, and I'm hearing August the 24th. So stay tuned for that date. Let's go ahead and go to some of the other articles here. More Avata box photos. First list of features, what's inside, and a Pro View bundle. Okay. You can see right here this list of what comes inside the box: the drone, adapter, screwdriver, lanyard, goggles 2, screen protector, spare propellers, manual, motion controller, eyeglass frames, USB-C OTG cable, flight battery, dual band antenna, power cable, battery, headband, and USB-C. Okay. And I read, of course, the manual there. Feature of DJI Avata, immersive flight experience, motion controller, 4K stabilized video, palm-sized and agile, built-in propeller guard, HD low latency transmission. All right. ProView combo could be the goggles to buying option. The second bit of info we now have is the name of one of the combos you'll be able to buy of DJI Avata, the ProView combo. It looks like it'll be the combo that includes goggles too, meaning we could see an option to buy this drone with no headset, like with the FPV. DJI will likely continue to sell the Fly More kits rather than a combo with a drone, meaning extra batteries, a charging hub, and whatever else DJI decides to include would be a separate item to order. However, for the Mini 3 Pro, those kits have notoriously been delayed compared to the drone and controller combos. First list of Avata features: immersive flight experience, meaning FPV, intuitive motion controller, confirmed support for DJI's motion controller, 4K stabilized video, palm-sized and agile, built-in propeller guard, HD low latency transmission. It might be safe to expect technology very similar to the FPV drone, since many of these descriptions are the same used on the older drones page. However, it's rumored to use a similar camera as the Mini 3, which would mean 4K 60 video, f1.7 aperture, and a 1/1/3 inch sensor. With rumors and leaks starting to pile up, we should hopefully hear something from DJI about the Avata and goggles to release soon. Okay. Now, of course, there was a video here. DJI's Avata Cinewoop drone flown with motion controller and video. Okay. I'm not going to show the video because I don't want to get dinged from and it shows it out in the field here as well. The new visuals of DJI's Avata craft going through the motions, while it suggests rumors the Cinewoop drone may either be released this month or perhaps somewhat later due to reported delays arising from production changes underway. Okay. And then there's another article here, DJI Goggles 2, first images surface, and some hope Avata is moving closer to release. Okay, there's an image of the Goggles 2. Picture shared by Deals Drone and Acetalev on Twitter, notorious leakers of all things DJI, show the upcoming DJI Goggles 2. This is expected to release along with DJI's first Cinewoop drone, the Avata, whose release date is currently up in the air. The photos show we've already seen from renders leaked in recent months. Small headset with only 2 antennas versus the current Goggles 4. And when we say small, we mean small. For example, one image compares the size of Goggles 2 to the image of a bottle of water. Goggles 2 won't be bulky as the goggles used for the current FPV and only go as far down as the top of the pilot's nose. This is in contrast to the current FPV goggles that come down and nearly cover the nose and almost reach back to the pilot's ears. This begs the question, are these meant to replace the previous generation of goggles or just to be used for the Avata Cinewoop? There's some design changes worth noting. The most notable will be the 2 cooling vents on the lower section of the Goggles 2. There's a photo showing the antennas is removable, and the color will most likely be the same gray we've seen before. Other than that, it takes a lot of design cues from the current generation FPV goggles, just in a smaller package. Okay, there's a picture of those vents right there. DJI Avata is headed to KOLs for evaluation, which we kind of knew. Okay, wow, that's just a lot of stuff right there, guys. That is just a lot of stuff. They're going to have a lot of packages with it. And, that's one of the things that you can know from, if you've been following DJI for any length of time, you know that you can expect different combos, different packages. I'm hoping this time around that DJI, if they offer like combos with this, that they're available, because it's been okay, Lauren. Thank you. I will. Okay. If you've been following DJI for any length of time, okay, they're famous for bundling things, these combos, and they did it well with it. I thought the best they've done it with the Mavic 2 when they came out with the Fly More combos for the Mavic 2 Pro and Mavic 2 Zoom. I thought they did a great job with that. With some of the other ones, they've done okay. But I think it was, the stock availability and everything that hurt them with the Mini 3 Pro with these combos. I'm glad I ordered both of mine separately on day one, and I'm very lucky I received them. One, UPS or FedEx dropped them both off at the same time, so I was very fortunate with that. A lot of people aren't. So all the info you want to put out right now is in that Drone XL article. You know what, Maddie? I'm going to go ahead and get that Drone XL article up. And we're going to go ahead and go over this. Thank you, Lauren and Maddie, for sharing that. Appreciate that. All right, DJI Avata pricing and specifications you want to know. Okay. Release date 8/23 to be determined. DJI Avata pricing recommended retail price $1,388. I'm assuming that's USD. Includes the DJI Avata, DJI goggles 2, plus V1 motion controller. Okay, and then you can physically see in color what all the what comes with it. And I think this is a very good representation of what you get. All these color pictures are always great. So this is really good here. Now the Avata looks like by itself is $629, and I assume that's just the Avata and probably battery itself. The goggles 2 $649. Goggles 2 motion combos $759. Avata specifications 1/1.7 inch CMOS sensor, 48 megapixels, FOV 155 degrees, 12.6 millimeters and 35 millimeter format equivalent, f/2.8 aperture, fixed focus, focus range 0.6 to infinity, ISO range 100 to 25,600, video with the goggles 2, 4K at 50 and 60 frames per second, 2.7K at 50, 60, and 100 frames per second, 1080p at 50, 60, 100 frames per second. Video with the FPV goggles V2, 4K at 50 and 60, 2.7K at 50, 60, 100, and 120, 1080p at 50, 60, 100, and 120, H.2.64 and H.265, EIS, Rocksteady 2.0, and Horizon Steady. Weight is 410 grams. Dimensions 180 by 180 by 180 millimeters unfolded. Diagonal 120 millimeters. Speed manual 27 meters a second. Sport 14 meters a second. Normal 8 meters a second. Maximum hover time 18 minutes. Internal storage 20 gigabytes. Downward dual vision sensors and TOF. Operation frequency 5.75 to 5.850 gigahertz. Live view mode with DJI FPV goggles. Low latency mode, 810p, 120 FPS. High quality mode, 810p to 60 FPS. With DJI goggles, low latency mode, 810p to 120 FPS. And high quality mode, 810p to 60 FPS. Okay. Transmission range, 6 miles FCC, 2 kilometers CE, 6 kilometers SRRC. Basically, DJI FPV is faster, but the Avata wins everywhere else. Okay. Goggles 2, 290 grams. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and drop this article in the chat. There is Ron. I'm going to let Ron in. Ron, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Bill. How are you tonight?
Good. It's the DJI Avata show tonight.
It is, yes. We certainly got, over the past weekend, we certainly got a ton of leaks, photos, information. It all tells me, Bill, that it's getting closer to a release date.
I believe so. I know Hay posted in the article 8/23, and I've seen 8/24 in other places. So I think it's coming sooner rather than later.
Now that those dates 23, 24, you mean that's the day we can pay all their money in, but we won't have it in our hands on that date.
Right, we won't have it in our hands on that day.
They'll take our $1,200 to $1,400 that day, but we won't have a drone. So I interrupted you during the specs here. So you were going over the drone, the goggles.
They're going over the goggles too, and I'm not seeing things that the price is $600 to $700, foldable antennas, and then the FPV goggles V2 price is $569. So let's take a
So
look.
the V2s are a little cheaper, huh?
Yeah, they're a little cheaper.
They're smaller too, right? They're smaller.
When they're smaller, yeah.
Yeah. There's the Air unit.
Boy, Hay really did his homework right here.
He did.
Yeah, with all this, yeah, that was great. I should have come out there and taken a look at this. But one of the things I think you're going to have, you'll have a lot of people, who are FPV enthusiasts, probably dive into this. Okay, the head first. I know Maddie will, and several others will do that. But I think if you're on the fence, if you're on the bubble, you're going to want to wait to see some reviews on this. You're going to want to watch what some people have to say about this, because this is a different kind of beast, Ron. It's not like the other FPV that came out. This is much smaller. I think it's like Hay said. I think other than the size, I think this is quantum leap ahead. But you want to see how it pans out. You want to see how it is with some of these KOLs and with their reviews and what they have to say, because I think that's going to hold a lot of weight with a lot of people.
And I suspect that with all this information popping out, that all the big name YouTube channels that we rely on for these probably already have this drone in there testing it out.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I'm sure we'll be seeing them as soon as this comes out. And of course, one of the other things that it's not mentioned in the article, obviously these are all soft releases anymore. DJI has gone away completely from the hard releases where it's in person type of thing, which saves them a lot of money. And especially since COVID and everything, and that's a very smart move on their part. And they can really basically schedule it anytime they want, whether it's in the morning or at night. Mm-hmm. But the timing of this, it's really interesting because it's coming up because schools are around the corner. Well, I know a lot of schools start tomorrow here.
Oh, wow.
Which, August 10th. Well, and I gotta say this is just regression for a second, Ron. Growing up, school didn't start till September. Okay, do you remember that, Ron?
Oh yeah, we never started till after Labor Day.
Yeah, we all started after Labor Day, and I was like, now they start middle of August, and I'm like, what is all this? It's just foreign news to me. I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't grow up in this era, huh, Bill?
Yeah, gosh, going to middle of August. No, thank you. No. But I digress for a second there.
Yeah. So we were off. Yeah, I mean, this drone will be a interesting release, and you were talking about who. This is always a question. Who is this drone for, Bill? The hardcore FPV guys or whatever, or the camera drone guys that think they want to do a little FPV?
Okay, the hardcore FPV guys, and I'm gonna and I'll spell one out, okay, because I know him pretty well, John Coopy. Okay, he's probably going to be on the fence on this one, okay, because it's not really truly FPV, okay. It doesn't have a lot of things and a lot of the features that you would find on your FPV videos that you go out there and see. I would say you're probably looking somewhere in the middle of the road. Will be some of your camera drone enthusiasts that are intrigued by this. Will want to take a look at it and maybe get it. Maddie's probably going to
look at Maddie's comment there. The second from the bottom. The one he says the Avata will be a 107 workhorse. I'll just read it, Bill.
There we go.
One shot guys doing stuff for commercial companies, and I think what he means by that, like say you're doing like a kind of a commercial, and you're flying a drone through I don't know, a park or a ballpark or a business of some sort, and you get that FPV shot. The Avata would be good for something like that.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Maddie.
Yeah,
and I think that's one of the things. I think you're going to have. You'll probably get some hardcore FPV guys because they'll probably want to see how it is.
But to your point, I think the FPV guys like Koopy believe they can build a better drone
oh,
than their own
absolutely.
business is going to be. Yeah, yeah,
As far as because you can pick and choose what you want and build it to your specifications. And one of the things that I got to say this, I think from what I'm seeing from the pictures, Ron, I think this one looks a lot more crash worthy than DJI's first attempt at FPV. Meaning,
right.
like, the guards around the blades already, that
Well, that's
says
why
like,
people say it's intended for indoors and stuff like that because of the guards, and it is slower in speed than the top speed is slower than the other one because the other one wasn't meant to fly in tight spots like this one is. So
yeah,
you're definitely correct, Bill.
yeah, and it's going to be real interesting to see how who ends up with these eventually. Okay, and who it appeals to, and I think it's going to pull some people in. But I think a lot of people are going to sit back on this one, Ron, and take a good look at this because, while if I were interested in it, which I'm not because of my peripheral vision and everything, I'm a
The
lot
whole
like
goggle
Marcus.
issue. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't do it. But if this were to pull me in, and if I were interested in something like this, I'm going to want to sit back and take a look. And especially when you think about the price for this. Now I know, and I'll say this, and I know all the guys will chime in here, and I know what they're going to say. I understand. I get it. I know the technology, and I say this about the Mini 3. Okay, I get the technology, and I understand it, and I understand it comes at a price, and I understand that. But really, this is not a this is not a consumer hobby grade drone. Okay, this is or a prosumer type of drone. This is something that you're going to use a lot more for fun. And I know Matty said he's going to do it for some good cinematic shots, and you can get that with this. I think this is going to be a type of drone where you're just going to kick back, let loose, and have some fun with.
Hmm.
Really, I mean,
Yeah.
the camera looks great on it,
Right.
but
Very similar to the Mavic 3, a Mavic Mini is the rumors.
yeah,
And when
yeah,
you were talking about the pricing for a little bit, we had Lauren on last night in Drone Nation, and Lauren had his thought was that you could maybe use your existing DJI goggles and maybe even controller with this drone, and they may sell the drone just buy just the drone and use it with your existing FPV equipment. That would make it more affordable, Bill.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's a good yeah. The DJI Avata looks to be modular. Fly Zone points out you can replace parts. That's a really good point to bring up there because I think that's where I think DJI made an error when they came out with their first FPV, that it wasn't like that, and so many people had to buy so many parts for that because that's not a crash worthy drone. Okay, their original FPV, it's just simply it's just not there, and when you crash that thing, it's going to cost you money and to get it fixed. And I know because I've seen a lot of stuff about that in the forums. I think with this one, with the Avata, I think Ron, I think people are going to be able to quickly be able to repair things on this. I think parts availability is going to be there, and I think it's going to be more durable. I think it's going to be able to take some of those, running into a wall or other object,
Which
and
would
be
make it
able to
more like a real FPV drone then.
yeah, and be able to bounce right up and be able to pick it up and get it back up in the air. I don't think there's going to be a lot of downtime with this drone. And again, this is something I want to emphasize to people. If you're interested in this, wait and watch the videos. Okay, I can't emphasize that enough because you might be all interested in it, and then you find out what it's all about, and it's like, it's not your cup of tea. Wait and watch the videos. That's what I have to
Yeah.
say because I think you'll learn
And
a lot.
especially if it's like the last couple of releases from DJI on the camera drones. Do you think this will be the same sort of slow release, Bill? Comes out, you order it, you wait a while, and then if you don't order it right away, it takes a while to get here, and maybe only DJI has it, so you don't have many alternatives. In other words, will they repeat what's happened in the last couple of releases with this drone?
I don't think so, and the reason I don't think so, Ron, is this. Okay, the Mini 3, they knew from the get go. Okay, because I believe we don't get a peek at DJI sales figures, But I believe as far as their consumer drones are concerned, the mini series has to outsell everything else. It really does.
Unfortunately, they're not publicly traded companies. They don't
Right.
have
They're
to
not.
they don't have to release the quarterlies.
Exactly. So we don't know, but it's just my guess that, and I also too, I'll look at the numbers in my groups. Okay. The biggest group I have is a mini group. Okay. The second biggest group, which is really close behind, is the Air 2S group. Okay. They're not that far apart, and I'm not saying that's what their sales are, but I think with the mini, okay. And I think, they knew there was going to be a high demand, and they released it, and they knew there was going to be some shortages with this. I think with the Avata, I think they're not going to have that kind of demand that they had for the Mini 3. And I think a lot of people will be able to get them shortly. Whether it lasts, it may last a week or so, and then all of a sudden, you'll be on back order. That may happen. But I think initially, I don't think they're going to have the kind of problems and woes that you had with the Mini 3 when it first came out.
That'll be good.
And especially, depending upon, what kind of bundles they have with this. Okay. Can you buy the Avata by itself? Can you buy, the goggles by themselves? Can you buy, a Flymore kit with this? It's wide open in terms of the options that'll be available. I think the core drone, like the basic kit, I think that will be readily available. I think the other ones, you're going to have to do a wait. Like if you wanted to order the Avata by itself, I think that's something you'll have to wait for. I don't think it'll be available immediately.
Like when the Mini 3 came out, the last thing you could order was the Mini 3 by itself.
Right. And it wasn't available until now, and that came out in May. Okay. Yeah. So, that was a long wait for that. I think, if you're willing to wait, do it. That's
and you advise to wait a little bit. So there's that.
Yeah, waiting is not a bad thing in this, especially in this instance. Okay, most of us on here who who are watching and in the chat and everything, most of us have had a mini drone. Okay, most of us know what to expect with a mini type of drone. Were we all blown away by the Mini 3 Pro? Of course, I still am. I love it. Okay, but I think with this, it's still an unknown quantity because it's an area. While DJI's they dipped their toes in the pool, now I think they're going up to their knees. Okay. In terms of getting their experience and understanding what all this is about, Ron.
Hey, did you see Travel Tech 360's comment? He's saying the Mini 3 has been so popular here in Asia, there's still a 6-week wait for it.
Yeah. See, and I think that's why the Avata is you're going to be able to get your hands on one sooner than you would like with the Mini 3 Pro. I just think it's just, I think that's probably part of the way it is now. Okay.
I forget already, Bill, did the first DJI FPV drone have a smooth release where was it plenty available on release?
I think there were plenty available, Ron. I don't think they had a problem with that. I don't recall anything, if any of you in the chat know differently, Lauren or anybody, feel free to chime in, but I don't think they had a problem or an issue with it. And of course, now, they put them on sale because they have plenty of them in stock, and they realized, that it wasn't, it was their first attempt at it. And it was an okay first attempt. But, when you make an FPV drone, Ron, you build it to crash, or you build it to have a lot of replacement parts available. And they didn't do that for their first go around. And that, that's where that is. That's just part of what that is. So,
yes,
I don't know. I wanted to get you up to date on a couple of things. Found out from Femi that the TX10 smart controller, it works with the Femi X8 SE 2022 V1 as well as the V2.
Gorilla Man did a kind of a long extensive video on the TX10, and he mentioned that in his video.
Yeah. He and I have been exchanging a bunch of emails together on that, and I'm going to be repurchasing one at the end of the month when I get paid. I finally got my credit from Amazon. It took like 14 days. It was the longest return I've ever had, waiting to get my money back from Amazon of anything I've ever done with Amazon. So that's already done. So that's kind of in the works. But yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. I was gonna say something, but just boom. Oh, one of the things that, and I know Marcus has said it the past couple of shows, and it's right. Is especially at night or flying during the weekends. Anywhere, if you're out, try to get out before 10, or to do it later in the day, because during the day it's just too stinking hot outside. I mean, it's been brutal down here,
Oh,
and we've been in the mid 90s or so. But I know Marcus said, he had 110 out there, and
I think even Lauren said he did 35 Celsius up in Calgary. He said they don't usually get that. Usually the hot weather's almost over for the hot part of summer is gone for them usually, but this year
yeah,
brutal.
it's just brutal. And if you're out there flying, do as I do. Go out there, have some water with you, sit in your car between flights and turn the air conditioner
Yeah,
on. I mean, there's no
yeah.
shame in something like that.
Yeah,
So
even here it was off island today on the mainland. It was 100 today, so
yeah, it's
but it was a
yeah.
cool. It was a cool shore breeze, so it kept it cool down here. In fact, I went down and do a little. I had a little flight job to do earlier tonight, and it was 69 degrees down on Beach Block or whatever because of that
Wow.
cool breeze coming off the ocean. Yeah.
Send some of that down. Well, it's actually very nice. We had a thunderstorm come through and dropped into the 70s, which is
Oh,
like a huge relief. We had some
good.
excitement on the street today. Had a baby gator walking down the street today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We have a community Facebook page. Somebody was like, you live in Florida. It's just like, it's one of those things. Well, one of the things they do in our community, which is very good, they'll trap the gators, and they'll trap and release them. They don't euthanize them. They take them out to an area that's more gator friendly than our ponds.
Right.
Which I think is a good idea, because they don't want any problems with humans here. So
Yeah, yeah,
in
definitely.
gator
Yeah.
interaction. So
I mean, you kind of grew up in near the city, but if you grew up in rural PA, you could have a bear walk around your backyard, full size bear, so probably just as much of a thing to be aware of as a gator.
absolutely,
Yeah. Hey,
absolutely.
did you? I'm probably late to game, but and you probably covered, but just get to grab your thoughts real fast. What did you think of the whole exo drone sale to the Florida, we'll call them holding company?
Interesting. Very, very interesting. I didn't see that coming.
No,
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
no.
And time will tell if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I hope
You
it's a
mean
good
you mean
thing.
from the point of somebody who has purchased an exo drone?
Right.
Yeah,
Somebody who's
because
purchased an
we
exo
don't know.
drone.
It's a lot of they sent that new terms of service out. And a lot of people worry that they won't honor Exo's kind of guarantee and warranty service promise.
Yeah, that's a big concern, and that's something I understand. I want to sit back and see how that's going to play out. I'm hopeful. And one thing that I'm hopeful of is, I'm sorry, I think their prices are way too high. They need to come down with their prices, Ron. It's just
Now, it was sold to a Florida holding company. That holding company wasn't Build a Drone Reviewer Enterprises, was it?
no,
You're
unfortunately,
not the one to purchase Exo, huh?
it wasn't. But I'm hoping that maybe prices will come down, because I kind of think, I've been out there. It's it's a Hubson by any other name. Okay, first thing, and,
Yeah.
number two, it's you're paying more for a name than you are for the drone. Okay,
Well, if they're not going to give that warranty, they can lower the price, I guess. Now, what do you think Hubson thinks of all this sitting back in China? They kind of license their products out to be sold here under another name and kind of have a non-compete going where they don't sell them here now. So, I mean, I wonder what they think of all this.
yeah, that's a good question, Ron. I don't know. It's just it kind of begs. What do you think? What is Hubson thinking on all this? I don't know.
Yeah, because if whoever owns Exo drones, whether it's Charlie or his holding company, if they don't order a whole bunch of units and sell them, that's going to be lost sales to them by not selling themselves here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We see Travel Tech 360. He's seen the
he's
Avata in
seen the
person already.
Avata in person. He's been posting some pictures of it on his Facebook page.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very,
Yeah.
very interesting. You have any
Yeah.
closing thoughts for tonight, Ron?
Just that, it's been a busy weekend again. The rumors have kind of been coming slow, real slow in the Avata until just this past weekend, and now it's exploding. We've already got the FCC filing, so I mean, I think that 23rd, 24th date is very a doable date, Bill. And even though you and I aren't particularly maybe interested in buying this drone, but I mean, I won't say I won't buy it. I will, just like you advised. I will look at all the big channel reviews that first day it's released and watch and study it and make my decision then. But if I had to say right now, I'm probably not getting it. But I will consider it. And again, then we kind of shocked us by the EXO news. I mean, EXO is a company we weren't really familiar with until just last spring, and then Charlie did a lot of promotion on a lot of different YouTube shows and live shows, and now we know why. He was already kind of probably setting the company up for the sale back then.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
With that, with the Avata, it's going to be interesting. It's going to, and like I said, I think for a vast majority of you, you probably want to sit back, take a look, watch the videos, watch the reviews, and kind of take it all in and soak it in before you make that decision. There'll be a lot of you hardcore guys that'll go out there and get it. So, and we'll be looking forward to getting those videos, and I think that'll really make a difference on what you do with EXO drones. Who knows? Maddie put in there, there'll be a furniture company by the end of the year. Who knows? So stay tuned for all that, and with Hubson and all those dealings. And one of the things that I thought was real interesting was the Phantom 4 RTK is gone. I mean, they stopped producing it, and the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0, you can't buy it directly on DJI's website anymore.
Okay.
But you can find it at some places and some brick and mortars. And I think you can still find them on eBay, although they're a little outrageous on eBay right now, new. Some people have them. So
people surmise that with the end of the Phantom 4 RTK units that the Mavic 3 Enterprise will be filed shortly.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree 100%. So with everything in here, guys, I hope you guys all have a great week. And remember tomorrow night, okay, on Wednesday night, I'm going to be on with Johnny Drone Flyer and Ray on their show. And then right after that at 8:30, I'm going to be on Drone Therapy with Bill Thomas. So
for an anniversary show, big anniversary
show. So stay tuned.
And I think a birthday show too. So it's a double whammy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you got a busy dance card tonight, Bill.
Yeah, I do, Ron. I really do. Take care, guys. It's a great day to fly.